Hello, this is Pretty Guardian, and for today's video, I am going to be your farming queen and take you on a final tour of my farm and farm together. So to jump on in to this video, we are starting out in my area that I call Tulip City. I was really inspired by the tulips. I just think that they're one of the prettiest flowers in this game. I wanted to build up a city around them, something that was really beautiful. And then the city aspect, you can see kind of like the bright lights, the shops. And then also because it has my bus stop there, I wanted the first spot that people come into the game at to have some real impact to it. So I think that the lighting and the flowers really add to that. And then also looking at the fence, I used the anniversary fencing because it has those bright red bows. And so I think it all comes together to create a really good first impression and first impact when people port into my city. In today's video, we're also going to really focus on the areas that I've done the most change to since the last tour. So up in the top left corner is spot number 1. My inspiration for this area is that I wanted a zone that was girly and pink and cute. And I was kind of inspired by the new candy pack that has recently come out in Farm Together. I don't own it at the moment, but you can see the little cotton candy plants that I put around. And then the strawberries, because they're that like nice, rich, dark pink, they almost look like candy sitting up on the hill. And then the pink lilacs have that really like delightful conical shape, very reminiscent of cotton candy as well. We have the pretty pink unicorns. And with them, I mostly place them around as like random accents. I wanted this area to have the impression that these unicorns could just kind of roam freely and were in their majestic little home. Over here in the corner, I put in kind of a little sitting garden, our Easter bunnies, because they're bright and cute and pink. And then just like a nice little flower path and pergola wrapping everything up. Down just south of my pink area is the alien area. And this one is surrounded by the mushroom trees. I use trees a lot of times as accents, but then also as a way to section off and divide the different areas of my farm. And I feel like it helps to give each area kind of its own enclosed biome sort of feel to it. So for this one, you can see there's a lot of lunar soil. We have the mushroom trees, and then also we're growing mushrooms. Around the corner here, we have some cute little peacocks. I put them in because I felt like they had the most alien sort of look to them compared to the other birds in the game. There's also a lot of like little industrial touches that I felt like suited an alien more. For example, we have like the pump jack for the fuel, or we have the warehouse over there with the mushrooms growing behind it. My third area here was the very last area that I built into my farm before being totally done with it. This one, I really started out with the wind turbines as my inspiration. In the back of my mind, I wanted an area that was more eco-friendly and sustainability focused. And I know that that doesn't necessarily come across in the final design, but like I said, I did start with the wind turbines. And then I put in the little trailers. So it has kind of a trailer park, but a little upscaled. Those are kind of like tiny homes, places where, you know, you can have a nice, comfortable, beautiful shelter, but it also has a smaller footprint to it. In front of some of like the vegetables and things here, we have like the hydroponics table and the arborist tree and that sort of stuff. Going back to that whole like green eco focus, this isn't just like random gardening. This is where people are really invested in studying what they're doing here. I also put in a lavender field because I love the smell of lavender, and I thought that that would be a really pretty thing to have in this area. And I even snuck my little cottage house over into the corner. Next up, over at spot 2, we have kind of a more Christmas oriented area. You can see like we have the Christmas trees around. There is still some snow on the ground. I put in the cotton fields around the longhouse here because I felt like the cotton balls were really reminiscent of snowballs in a way. So they're like cute little snowball plants. But really it's just kind of a small area. We have some snow, we have a snowman, we have the meadery, a nice little winter area along the railroad tracks. At spot number 9, we have my Roman area. So I really tried to lay out this area with the Roman pathing. The colors that I picked were mostly those sorts of oranges and browns. And I even tried to coordinate the animals with that a little bit. So as we're going around, you'll see like I chose the golden sheep, and you'll find a little bit of color like in the fields. We have the red sorghum. So it has that really like earthy tone, rustic red to it. And then up on top of the hill here, we also have our Roman villa. And I tried to lay out the Roman pathing to create sort of a nice, fancy little mezzanine sort of area centered around the villa and also the dolphin fountain, which I thought was really pretty. Around spot number 6, we have our jalapeno area. And this whole area is kind of themed around the jalapeno pack that came out. So you'll notice that we have jalapeno fields. I used the Aztec pathing, which I thought was really pretty. It gave the space some good color and design. I loved the archways and the plants in the houses, and I just thought that this was a really nice pack. I really like the adobe walls that we kind of built around things. The papaya trees that I used to wrap around it don't necessarily fit in thematically, but I really liked the height that they gave. So I think that extra height created a lot of dimension in an otherwise sort of sunken in area. Just north of our tulip city is a hedge maze. And when I was originally working up here, I was imagining it as just like a sort of garden, like a botanical garden or something just north of Tulip City. And then my dearest friend Kat, who has helped me decorate so much of this farm, came in and she started putting little things around and she started creating a maze. And I was blown away by her idea. So basically we just created kind of a fun maze for people to run through, and we just put like little points of interest throughout the maze. So there's like little plants over here, or there's like this Lucky Charm gold pit that you can click on, or just kind of like little fun things. So when you're running around, there's a lot of interesting stuff to look at. And then the focal point is up top, where you have like a nice little tulip patch seating area. And it's just kind of a nice lit area up on the hill to relax. At spot number 4, we have our Harani Area. This one obviously had a more Asian inspired aesthetic to it. I went for something really luxe and used a lot of like bright colors. We have the gold pathing that takes you throughout this area. Right now it's winter, so not everything's really in bloom. Up top here, I made a cute little Zen garden that you can walk through. And we also have koi plants. And then kind of a little winery juice area here with the goji berries. We have a nice little tea garden with a bench where people can sit and relax. And then eventually this area transforms into our Carnival Area. So we have like the Ferris wheel up on the hill, benches for seating. I used the purple daffodil flowers because I just felt like they were really fun and vibrant and maybe even a little bit whimsical in a way. You can also see we have Azoichka tomatoes growing, and I chose those because they have like little stars on them, and the fruit just kind of reminded me of bright and colorful baubles. So this is just kind of a fun area to explore. Last but not least is spot number 10, and this is Katys Area. And you can really see her influence with it, starting with the sunflowers, one of her favorite flowers. She really likes the color yellow. So just kind of a bright and cheerful rustic farm sort of space. So you can see like the nice little campfire for people to sit around, pretty yellow flowers and pathing throughout. And then over here, we have our train. So for the final step of our tour, we'll be taking a little train ride around my farm. I actually pathed the train tracks, so they went around the entire scope of our farm. We put in a little beach area that you can see here with like the seashell pathing kind of enclosing everything. And this spot doesn't have its own bus stop, so I think it's more just kind of a nice little hideaway that we can view from the train as we go by. So like I said, the train will take us around the entire city. You can see the Harani Area, the Carnival Area, and then over here it's going to take us through kind of a little castle area. We just have some crops growing out front. And then I put the yellow magnolia trees along the way, but I just think they're really pretty. Over to the side, you can see like a nice little bench for sitting by the castle. And then we pass through the Christmas area. And eventually we head around. There's like a little stop there by the jalapeno area. With the train pathing, if you create longer lines, the train actually starts going faster. And so I was really torn on the pacing of how fast versus slow I wanted it to be. Obviously, if you're moving faster, there's a little more fun and excitement to it, but also you don't want to pass by all the fun little things on the farm either. So eventually we get around the corner and you can see my little green eco area with the wind turbines. Then we go through the alien area. And finally, it takes us past these withered trees and back into the pink area, kind of towards where our little tour began. So that is my final farm in Farm Together. I have put in over 900 hours into this game, and I've had just such an amazing time decorating my farm. So I just want to say a final thank you for checking it out and coming along on this little adventure with me. After this, I plan on being done with this game. I've had an amazing time with it, but I feel like I've just put as much effort and energy as I can into it at this time. So thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do your girl those YouTube-y things because it helps my channel. I'm just really happy to have you along for this journey. So until next time, this is Pretty Guardian logging out.